art is just human nature. I think every person like creates art in their own way.
I mean, I could go all cliche, but like, art is expression. It's a way to put myself out there and let people know who I really am. And like, you know, it's kind of true, I guess. It's fun. It's a different way of using your brain. It's storytelling and like verbal storytelling traditions. Just that's part of being human. Like that's what makes humans different from other creatures is we make art.
A lot of people have a lot of ideas about what art is, but personally, art is anything. Art is a subjective term, and therefore it is in the eye of the beholder.
It expresses who I am in a way that I don't always have the words for. I suppose it just makes me happy, and I guess, I mean, it's something that's close to my heart, and yes, just a way of expression. It all tells a story. It tells a story about the artist. It tells a story about a group of people. It tells a story about history. And that's all art combined to tell a story. And I guess I appreciate that.
Because it is that form of communication. Words are hard. Like, not everybody can read. Even if you can read, sometimes it doesn't translate well. Like, words are bad at communicating most of the time. And so being able to do it in other ways is important. Art is probably one of the easiest ways to get a message out to as many people at once as you can. Because it is so ubiquitous. Everything. It's graphic design, or it's like, I don't know, if you look hard enough, the lines painted on the road is a form of art, right? Like, it's symbols and imagery is a really easy way to convey a message. And that's why you have, like, people can have really emotional responses to it, because it's so, like, base level.
So, I mean, when it comes to me and what I believe the importance of art is, I do really think that it just comes down to how it can influence people. Art is such an approachable medium, so it's something that any age range of people can appreciate. Art is something that, whether it be a children's show or fine art in a museum, it always has a message to it, and it can be appreciated by a very large audience, like I said. So I think especially when it comes to youth culture and how art affects children, I think that's where the biggest impact lies, and that can really determine the direction that they take in their lives. So having positive artistic influences and having positive artistic representation is really important to the development of children and making sure that they understand how the world we live in works. Nowadays in specific, children spend a lot more time on the internet and watching television, so it's really important that what is being distributed and watched by children is in a positive light and it's benefiting the way that they're growing. Currently there's been a lot of social upbringing, and there's been a lot of issues that people have really been facing in the last couple decades, and art is a really big aspect of getting that word out and making that known. And so when it comes to platforms like social media, people drawing the deceased of shootings or cop incidents, it's really an important factor to make sure that important things are brought to light, and art has a big impact on the way that people view those kind of events.
You know, when people talk about like art going up in a city that some people feel like is really important and other people feel like it's just blah, 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 blah. It's like the first thing I think is graffiti, right? Like graffiti is, its roots is in being able to make a statement about something quickly and publicly. But it can be beautiful and it can have an important message. And again, it's just that getting out there, and everyone who drives by it is going to see it. And I think especially in terms of like social justice movements, things like BLM, getting it in front of as many people has been a really big part of it succeeding and actually being able to do anything. I mean, like, that's what protesting is. It's just having enough people with the same opinion that maybe something might change. But also, you know, some people don't want those things spread, or there's an idea that there is a right way to do things like that. You know, why would you tag this store? Blah, 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 blah. You should write a column and put it on the internet. Like, nobody's gonna see that. That's why they didn't do that.
Art is important for like various reasons, of course. One of the main ones being that I think it has the power to show the reality of the world, when a lot of the times like things that aren't as great are often glossed over, especially by like media. I mean, of course things are shared that are bad through media, like social media and stuff, but a lot of the times it is like it's looked over, and I feel like artists, you know, have the power to really show the actual state that the world is in, especially like when it comes to photography, you know, like those are, you know, photos don't buy, and like you can, you know, just bring your camera and show like that this is actually what it's like.
So the other way is that some of these artists and photographers who are showing what is going on, say during the protest. A couple years ago, there was that woman in the dress standing up next, standing face to face with that police officer, and just that photo like brings out so much emotion and just like awe and wonder. And photography can tell the truth in that. They can show what is going on. They can show a different perspective of what somebody else might be seeing. It can definitely raise awareness. With the paintings, the photography that we've seen recent in the last couple of years, I feel like even just standing there looking at some of these pieces, you feel somber, you feel like we need to make a change. And I feel like you can almost feel the artist's feelings when you look at it, or even the photographer's feelings, and be touched by that. And then you also want to make a change because of that.